How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
This is Fish Jelly.
Uh-huh.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. So I feel like we have to talk about
the CEO?
Astronomer CEO because, not to turn someone's unfortunate situation into humor, but all of the memes.
Oh, that was like wildfire.
And then watching Chris Martin, of course, now there are more videos coming out showing a different perspective. And then Chris Martin, after he goes, oh, you're either having an affair, you're really shy. Then they go to a different couple. And then he's like, are you guys a legitimate couple? Okay, we'll go with you then. But I don't know that people don't know about this, but at a Coldplay concert, I guess I was looking at like the alternate perspective, and it looks like Chris Martin is singing to like a big mirror on the wall. Uh-huh. So it's almost like this view is for him, so he's singing to people, which is kind of cute. But the cam went on this couple who immediately, when they realize they're on the Jumbotron, they freak out, and the man literally ducks for cover.
Yep.
And then the woman turns around like she's embarrassed, and then Chris Martin says like, oh, okay, well, like I already said, you're either having an affair or you're really shy. And then that went viral. Uh-huh. Like immediately went viral. And then we find out that, oh, that man is the CEO of a tech company called Astronomer. And the woman he was embracing is the head of their HR. Both of these people are married, but not to each other. So currently the CEO is on leave. So they have an interim CEO. The wife of that man, Andy Byron, it's bad because on Facebook, she removed his surname from her profile.
Yeah, I read that.
And then the lady, what is her name? Christine Cabot? Christine. Shout out to Maria Bamford. She's married to a different CEO of a rum company who's the heir to like some rum dynasty. I
sense a reality series brewing. CEO wives.
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah.
I think this is your cue.
Like those women that target basketball players.
But that lady, she was married prior and divorced in 2022 and then found another rich man to marry. Now having an affair with another, I'm presuming, rich man.
She's going to be the bridge between the CEOs. The London Bridge.
I often get heat when people talk about having a hard time dating, and then I say, well, there are crackheads on Skid Row holding hands smiling, and then people don't like that. But, I mean, this lady, Chris Cabot, that's a dry lady. She didn't even have her roots done.
Ooh, and she makes money.
She could get her hair done. This lady looked dry as hell, and she has multiple men. She has been married more than once. Having powerful men have affairs with her. If she can do it, you can do it. There is no excuse why some of y'all can't.
Perhaps the appeal is she makes herself readily available, so she doesn't have time to go to the salon.
I was thinking of Della Reese in Harlem Nights.
In her pinky toe?
No, and that if that lady threw her coochie in the air, it would turn to sunshine. There must be something with her. She must have some kind of skills because it damn sure ain't the face card. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, it's unfortunate that, well, my immediate thought when things like this happen is you don't know these people's situation.
Right.
You don't know if he's separated from his wife. You don't know if they have an open marriage. You don't know anything, right? So I think it's funny that it turns from like, oh, this is like a faux pas, and like how funny that Chris Martin called it out. It goes to that until like then people comment like how wrong it is, and it's like you don't know these people.
I mean, don't put. I don't think you can put your own moral compass upon these people, like because what's that line from Elle? Like, shame is not an emotion that's strong enough to make anyone do anything at all. But I think what is interesting about it is she's the head of the HR department.
That's what I was going to say. The other thing is like it's just unprofessional.
That
CEO having an extramarital relationship with the head of the HR department. The optics of it are just crazy.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. Like, why? Why would you do that? So I'm sure it's been very embarrassing for all of those people, but like everything else, it's gonna in a week no one's gonna talk about it until there's a new development, like the rum air files for divorce from her, then we'll see it back on social media. But then I was thinking, do we have any advice for people who get caught cheating? Definitely act normal. Don't like.
Oh, you mean how they reacted?
Yeah, like don't act like someone threw a grenade at you.
That was like when you pick up a rock and the insects scatter. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be out here doing shit you either shouldn't be doing, or you like, because he was holding on to that lady at this concert with other people. Because there's the lady in the video. There's a lady next to the.
She leans into her.
She's been identified, and she's like, she knows of the situation. So it's like, if you're that bold to be out here with someone who is not your wife, all booed up, like at a big concert, like, I mean, it's either you don't give a damn or you have an arrangement. So to me, it's like, you just have to own it. When you get caught doing shit you either shouldn't be doing or that people might judge you for, you just have to own it.
Well, exactly.
Because what's he going to do? Like, first of all, if he would have just played it off normal,
it wouldn't have gotten attention.
No. But yeah, I feel I feel bad because I've gotten a lot of laughs over the last few days.
There's been some pretty good memes, yeah. It reminded me that Hannah Arendt saying about the banality of evil. It's kind of the banality of adultery. Oh. Clearly all these people were complicit in what was going on, but yeah, I think it's more funny.
Well, I've had acquaintances or friends over the years who it's like, oh, like I see, like I know that you're doing something you shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, well, what am I gonna say? Like, I mean, the thing I always say is like, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna.
Girl, you better watch out.
Or maybe I am in it, but it's not my business. I don't know. Okay. This past week we went to go see Jackie Beat, the drag queen.
We sure
did. Catalina Jazz Club.
Yeah.
First off, I want to say that it's nice that there are places like the Catalina Jazz Club because they have a lot of really interesting. I guarantee for anyone who's not familiar, if you go look at their calendar, you're going to see some really interesting people on there that you're like, whoa, I didn't know they were still alive, or that they perform, or that this was even a thing.
Uh-huh.
So it's really cool that there's a space for people to perform. And I think we've talked about this space before because we saw LaToya Jackson there. We've seen Lady Bunny there. We've seen Jackie Beat there before.
Yes.
But some comedian mistook me for the promoter. we told that little story.
Uh-huh.
But he was there again. So I'm assuming that he might be like the promoter for the venue. He looks gay to me. So maybe that explains why a lot of the entertainment featured is like,
homosexual in nature.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really cool that you get those kind of acts there. So I'm happy that venue's there. And we saw Jackie Beat there last year for her 60th birthday. And then we saw her this past week for her 62nd birthday. So I was kind of confused, but I think we caught her 60th birthday, like that show that she had sort of done a run of. Mm-hmm. We caught it on the tail end. And then this show was ahead of her 62nd birthday. But it's funny because it felt like we skipped an entire year, but which we did. But anyway, what would you say about Jackie Beat?
She's entertaining. She's funny. She's bitter. She's cynical. She's political. She's says a lot of things that I agree with. So I enjoyed it.
She's very talented.
I will say though that she kind of leans into the I need money. She's hard hustling.
I do not like people asking for money. I think I've made that very clear. But
Yes, you have.
because here's the thing, it's not cheap to go see her. We probably spent, because you think like, okay, the tickets were like $50 because we got like it wasn't sold out either. So we got like the cheap section. We didn't buy the tickets, a friend bought them. But he got like the less expensive tickets, but because the show wasn't sold out, they pushed us to the front. So we ended up having a lovely seat. But it's like, okay, so that's $100 for the two of us. And then, we had dinner somewhere else, but of course you have to buy something while you're there. So we bought a bottle of wine and some dessert. So we spent like $200 just at the venue to see her, not including the dinner that we had to have beforehand. Well, had to have.
We did need sustenance.
Well, of course, you have to have a nice dinner before you see the show. But it's like, okay, so we spent like on the cheaper side $200.
Yeah.
To see you. And then you spend the entire, and she's done, the last time I saw her, then the one and only time I've ever done drag brunch she was part of the cast.
We've done drag brunch at least twice.
Have we? You're right. We have done it twice, but the first time was with her, right?
Yeah.
And she did the same thing. She spent the entire time talking about how you have to tip and they need money. And it's like, what a way to kill. And also that drag brunch wasn't cheap because I think I also paid like $50 for each seat.
No, but that food was good.
The food was good, but we spent another, and then we got like a pitcher, or I don't know if it was bottomless or whatever, but mimosas. So I probably spent another $200 to go see. And then I probably spent like another $50 in like singles to tip. But it's like, damn, it'd be cheaper for me to just go see, get some last minute tickets to go see Beyonce. I don't know.
Right.
I wish that she weren't so bitter and constantly talking about how you have to tip. She needs money. She wasn't on Drag Race. Yeah, we know. Everyone here knows who you are. That's why we're here. Yeah. That's why we paid more than what it cost to get into the gay bar to see the Drag Race girls. Because I could pay $10 to get into Precinct to go see those Rue girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I could get pretty drunk and still spend less money than it was to see you. So I also saw her on the cruise ship a couple times.
You frequent the same circles.
So I like Jackie Beat.
Yeah, I do too.
She also has a really nice voice. She's I'm closer to her age than these Rue girls, so like her references are more appropriate for me. The joke was, and for people who don't know, most of her act is parody songs.
Yeah.
And if she sang 10 songs, only one was from contemporary music.
It's technically a concert.
It's a concert. But like 90% of the songs were like 70s and 80s. And I really enjoyed that.
Yes. And even she got some Donovan in there.
Which made me want to explore Donovan's catalog.
Oh, Season of the Witch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I believe Hurdy Gurdy Man. That's Donovan, right?
Side note, the singer Terrence Trent D'Arby? He had, his most popular song is Wishing Well, Kiss and Tell, Wishing Well, do 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 do. Do you know what I'm talking about? Anyway.
Yes.
That artist, I watched a little documentary about him because he changed his name. Partially because he was in one of those Prince situations where the record label owned all his stuff.
Oh, now they're Sandanda?
So now they're Sandanda. Yeah, but listening to him talk about his musicality and how he came up with those songs was really fast. I mean, he really is a talented musician. And hearing him reclaim his artistry, it's unfortunate that he got stuck in a deal where he felt like, he uses the word slave to the record label. So, but anyway, yes, Jackie Beat, I recommend it. I would go again, but
there's a parody right there. Slave to the rhythm, slave to the record labels.
Yeah. I've noticed at the end of her set, she does an encore of a parody of Destiny's Child's Bills, Bills, Bills.
That's a regular for a thing she does.
Yeah, and where she walks around asking for money. And I did give her some money. But I think if we see her next time, because the friend who we went with really likes her, so I'm sure next year he'll say, let's go. I would say we're going to leave before the encore.
Oh, yeah.
Because that shit is annoying.
There's like, I got to get to my car because I don't want to
Sorry,
get
girl. Okay, I'm going to send you something on Instagram.
Oh, my.
that I feel I need to talk about.
Oh.
So, Tina Turner's estate licensed a wig, and it was on her website. It was on sale for like £95, which is like over $900 US. And then that's before tax and shipping. So $1,000 wig made of 100% Remy human hair. And immediately the backlash was so strong that the estate pulled it. So it's no longer for sale. They say that it was designed and styled by her actual hairstylist, Arthur Johns, and that it comes with a signed certificate of authenticity from Arthur Johns.
But what's authentic about it? It's in the same style.
So people were upset that it doesn't look anything like any hair we've ever seen Tina Turner wear. Yeah. I mean, when you look at that wig, do you get Tina Turner?
No, you know who I get actually? I get Sadie Frost from the Bram Stoker's Dracula. That's who that looks like.
Okay, I will say the cut and the shape remind me of her late 90s, early 2000s era, like that Wildest Dreams era, that era where Oprah.
Any drag queen that does Tina, you know immediately it's Tina by the hair.
Right. So it like it's reminiscent of it, but it's too blonde. It's just too like golden blonde.
It is.
The cut, it's a little too mullety. And then the biggest issue is it's too curly. Like those curls are too perfect.
I agree.
Tina was a high octane performer. She loved to run her hands through her hair, in particular that cut. So in particular, the front of her hair was always kind of straight, wavy.
Yeah.
So this is just, it just doesn't look like a Tina Turner wig. Now, the hairstylist came out to say that he styled it exactly like how he would do for her. And I don't doubt that. I'm pretty sure that he styled her wigs to be a tighter curl, knowing that she would play with it and then make it her own. Like you need to build that curl in so that when you loosen it up, it stays with that texture.
So all you lazy bitches that bought this wig, you gotta run around and sweat to look like
so that's the problem is, yeah, I mean, I feel bad because it's like, well, I don't think this is so off. It just isn't styled yet. So why would you post that? I feel like they should have posted the styled wig.
Well, yeah, it's like shaking. Like they
needed to shake before
they took it out. They took it out of the bag and just plopped on the head.
Yeah. So, but I think the color's off. Also, it doesn't help that the model they used is a woman with.
She's very light. If not completely white.
Well, and her skin's very yellow. The background is yellow, and then the hair's yellow. It's
this high yellow.
Yeah, it's just not a flattering representation of the wig. I think that it could have been styled and photographed in a way that did look authentic, and then to ask for $1,000
I mean, that
is wild as hell,
sir.
It looks like a quality wig, but also it's like you don't need. I mean, this wig, there's no hairline, so it's like I don't know. It's too bad. It reminded me of, remember Oprah had Tina Turner on, and Oprah. Remember she did that whole sequence where like she was a background dancer.
Yes.
And then she got a Tina Turner wig that looked exactly like the wigs Tina wears, which is also the gag. Like, well, damn, Oprah got the wig to look right. And then Oprah wore that for like the entire season. Remember Gail had to say like, people, like all her people around her were nervous trying to tell her like, you're not. Gail said she was finally the one who had to say like, you are not Tina Turner. You need to take that wig off. But I feel bad. Also, Arthur Johns is an old man now. It's like, you know, as someone who works in product development, it's like, you know, he did his part and then they did the rest, maybe. Mm-hmm. And it just didn't come out right. But yeah, several people sent me that, so
Ooh.
I had to comment on it.
Like, what is Eartha Kitt when she was in the 90s doing her rounds about her childhood? Get that high yellow girl out of my house.
Her made up childhood,
Well,
because one night, like many months ago, we sat and watched like a bunch of Eartha Kitt music videos.
oh God, fabulous.
Which are so good.
Yes.
And then we watched a bunch of interviews. And it's funny because every time she talks about her childhood, and she's written several memoirs.
Yeah, I have the first one.
The story's always a little different.
Yeah, but always that line though, like they said, "Get that high yellow girl out of my house."
Well, and that her aunt thought she was too beautiful.
Yes,
that always is.
Mhm.
She always sticks that landing, but everything else is up for interpretation.
Well, because she was, her mother was raped, so she was a child of that.
Yeah,
assault.
It's clear that she had a sort of traumatic childhood, but she I think a lot of public figures feel like their life has to live up to their persona.
She was larger than life.
And she definitely knew how to play that game.
But it was, it's interesting in the 90s seeing her daughter was going to a lot of those interviews with her.
Yeah. And the daughter seemed
like
lovely.
they had a nice relationship. Yeah. Anyway.
Lastly, All Stars 10, RuPaul's Drag Race has crowned a winner. So spoiler, Ginger Minj finally got her crown.
She did. She was
deserving.
She was deserving. She was bucking for it. She put the work in.
Yeah. So I can't take that away from her.
I feel like before the finale that there is that kind of understanding that bigger girls aren't going to win. So I wonder if that was also part of the impetus for her to finally, like, she slimmed down drastically.
Yeah.
And she won, but because actually just at Jackie Beach was bemoaning the fact that big girls never win Drag Race.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, Ginger's, well, she's not big. I don't know. She's not big. I thought she was deserving. I thought the finale it made me sad looking at Georges's little face as we're waiting for RuPaul to announce who's going to win, because you could see how badly she wanted it.
Yeah, but Georges is so young and has had we met her 3 years ago?
Yeah.
And she's had this amazing career. She's done 3 seasons of Drag Race. She tours all over the world. She's been on Drag Race Live, and she's young.
Yes.
So she has plenty of time to
She does,
gain
but
even more accolades.
When you can see it means so much and
No, for sure. But I mean, imagine if Ginger didn't win. I mean, that'd also be sad. Damn,
that would be
lady
too.
Put
Yes.
in the most work of anyone. Of anyone. So I think she deserved it. I will say, what do you think of the tournament? Sort of this was the first time they tried the tournament style.
I actually kind of really liked that. It added a bit of variety, and there's inevitably somebody I cannot stand, so it allows for them to get off the TV screen. if I'm tired of seeing their ass, diabetes. But it also felt like they really rushed when they finally brought the creme de la creme from each bracket together. It felt really rushed.
Yeah, that's my exact critique, is that I liked the format up until we got to the semifinals, and then it was we're just in the finale. I wish we would have had 2 more episodes to get to, or maybe I want to get to a real top 3. I don't like this. Let's have all these girls lip sync. This lip sync Lollapalooza shit to me is kind of, it's entertaining to watch, but not to crown a winner.
No, because
maybe to bring back a girl who was eliminated, maybe to just have it be one episode where that's the main challenge, but not to crown a winner.
Well, then I feel bad for Carrie Colby because they brought her back from the first bracket with their little gimmick from this season, and then she gets the first lip sync because there's that Rita Queen bullshit there's doing, and oh god, I hate listening to people's excuses for doing dumb bullshit. So listening to all those queens try to explain how they were doing their Rita Queen was driving me crazy.
Yeah, because it's also arbitrary anyway. Because they don't know what it means, so it's so then it has no meaning then.
Right.
So just do it.
Just do it. But again, that doesn't make for good TV, I suppose.
Sure.
But I'm the type that doesn't really like to have to explain myself about some things. Anyway, what? Anyway, I felt bad for Carrie Colby because they brought her ass back, and then a minute later she does a lip sync and loses to Ginger.
I will say, as much as Carrie Colby is a beautiful creature, and
Absolutely.
I think she needs to be on TV screens, and she should be very well taken care of. Is she a winner? No. I mean, she's not particularly funny. She's not the best lip syncer. Her main talent is looking beautiful.
She's a beautiful orchid.
So I don't even think it makes sense. I don't even know why they brought her back when there's Denali, when there's Tina Burner. Like, there are queens who are like bona fide, well-rounded drag queens.
These raggedy judges, nobody thought. Tina Burner, I thought, had a pretty good glow up, and they were like, nah.
My vote would have been for Tina Burner.
Yeah, same. To give her the chance. But who does Ross Matthews pick? Miss Isabel Brooks. Ugh. Why? Did you not listen to anything that came out of that dummy's mouth? Whatever. What do I know?
Moving on. 5 on the black hand side. 5 black filmmakers who are not Tyler Perry. Who do we have first?
Billy Woodberry, who a while ago, he's probably best known for a film called Bless Their Little Hearts, which is set, it was 1983 and set in Watts, which is a pretty exceptional film. And it also features Casey Moore, who is also in Charles Burnett's Killer of Sheep and Julie Dash's Daughters of the Dust, which, so all 3 of those technically are seminal black films. Bless Their Little Hearts is obviously a lot less known than Killer of Sheep, but I think it's deserving of the same kind of attention. It's very well done. The Criterion Channel has been featuring some of his other, mostly documentaries, and I think they're leaving at the end of the month. But I finally made an effort and watched "And When I Die, I Won't Stay Dead," which is just a 90-minute documentary about Bob Kaufman, who was one of the, I guess, on the first wave of the Beat Poets. He's black, and obviously has been kind of a bit more erased from the picture, his history. But listening to, they have Ossie Davis reading some of his poetry in there just on the soundtrack. I need to discover more of him. I thought it was a great introduction to this artist, and obviously went through a lot of trauma, was in an interracial relationship, which of course brought more kind of negative attention to him at the time. He was locked up in a sanitarium that underwent electroshock therapy. He was targeted by the police. So, that title obviously becomes more meaningful. But I'm really actually excited to read more of his poetry because of that. Anyway, Billy Woodberry has a couple other, documentaries as well, but that I also need to catch up on.
Next,
Adisa, I hope I'm saying that right, is a director. I've written their name down on a list because I've been aware of a film he did called Skin in the Game, which I finally watched this week. So
did I walk in when you were watching it?
You did, and you're like, what the hell is this?
What the hell is this? All this commotion down here.
Well, it's a very traumatic film. It's Eartha Kitt is the star, and I'm trying to think of what, we just saw her in something.
Eartha Kitt.
I just saw her in something because she's in Gina the Joneses, I think, is what I'm thinking of. But she's in one of the scary movies. She's in, we never saw Uncle Drew. Anyway, I think she gives a great lead performance. She is basically an ex-sex worker that is helping other girls get off the street. And that's
Did we watch Outlaw Johnny Black?
We did. Yeah, she's in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Michael J. White, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the tone of it's not entirely successful, but the director approaches this with the right kind of sensitivity, unlike, say, a Tyler Perry would. And it is depressing. It feels kind of like what a modern blaxploitation film would look like a little bit. They even reference Foxy Brown because Erica, she saves a girl, and that girl compares her to Pam Grier. I wouldn't quite say that she gives me that. I was thinking it's more like Willie Dynamite meets the Taken franchise. But so Eartha Kitt has this white woman that she was friends with in high school, and that white woman kind of like paid her in dust when Eartha Kitt went down a dark road of sex work. But this white lady suddenly pops up on her porch and she's like, my daughter's been abducted by some man on the internet. Can you please help me find her? Because I know you got connects on the streets. And that's what happens. They go find this little white girl, and it ends how you think it would end. But I think the strong point of it is Erica Ash.
Next.
Kristen Lovell, who I believe you watched their documentary with me for Sundance, The Stroll.
Did I watch The Stroll? I'm assuming it's about hoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is co-directed by Zachary Drucker. And you're familiar with Zachary Drucker because they directed Lady in the Dale.
Yes, because did someone who was involved in that get killed?
Yes.
Yes, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. So it's about a documentary about New York's meatpacking district, and from the perspective, and so there's a lot of interviews with transgender sex workers. But it was 2023 Sundance that we saw that. I was able to watch from home, but it's available to stream online. But they're also credited as Kristen Parker Lovell if you're trying to look them up. And next we have Jamaa Fanaka, and you're familiar with Mr. Fanaka.
Oh, yeah.
Because of his wonderful Penitentiary trilogy.
Yes, The Boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes.
Well, we've only seen we still haven't seen Penitentiary 3, but
we saw the first two.
I think immediately after we saw the first one, we're like, oh, there's more, put it on. He's also known for a famous film called Welcome Home, Brother Charles, which I know of reference because it's about that black man whose penis becomes detached and starts killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also seen Emma May.
Emma May. Not mixed martial arts.
Not MMA, Emma May. Anyway, but if you have never seen any of his films, he also has in the 90s, he was working 70s through 90s, has a film called Street Wars that I feel I need to see from 1992. Anyway, fantastic filmmaker.
Last but not least.
Cliff Roquemore. You're also familiar with him.
Oh, let's see.
Yes. What? It's Your Baby Skin. He wrote a couple of films starring Rudy Ray Moore, including Disco Godfather and Petey Wheatstraw. I've had Petey Wheatstraw sitting by the bedroom Blu-ray player for months now. You need to watch that. God. But he directed Petey Wheatstraw and The Human Tornado, which you have seen, because I also own that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I love those Rudy Ray Moore films.
Well, thank you for that. Okay, moving on to the restaurant section. I ate at WeHo Bistro for the first time in a very long time. Yeah. When was the last time? I feel like the last time I was there with you.
It would have been circa 2012. I remember.
It's a staple. The location is like the heart of WeHo, basically.
I remember when we were there, RuPaul was sitting out there eating.
Yeah, I think back in the day, RuPaul would frequent WeHo Bistro regularly. Because I would see, when we first moved to WeHo, I would see RuPaul every morning going for a walk. And then I would see RuPaul at the gym. Mm-hmm. He would, because I would get there very early, like before whatever I was doing that day, like 6 a.m. And it would be like the two of us in there. And he would just be on a treadmill. Mm-hmm. But yeah, going back to have brunch, I realized, I think I know why I don't ever think about this place. Because they have parking and it's like a prime location. But it's supposed to be like French-inspired cuisine. Mm-hmm. We went for brunch, so, we didn't get French anything. We got waffles and chilaquiles.
Oh, yeah, definitely not French.
Yeah, that was not a good idea. The chilaquiles the eggs were eggs. Then it was like black beans out of a can.
The eggs were eggs.
The eggs were eggs.
They were egging.
The eggs were out of a can. And then the chilaquiles, it tasted like they just took like, oh God. What do you call tortilla chips? Wow, I couldn't think of tortilla chips.
Okay.
It looks like they just took bagged tortilla chips, like from Ralph's down the street, and bought some red enchilada sauce and just poured it on there.
I'm sure
and
they
then
did.
used feta cheese.
Feta.
I'm like, y'all don't have cotija anywhere near here? Like,
ain't Greek.
We are in Los Angeles. Yeah, the flavor combination was not a delight. And then the waffles, it was like 4 little waffles with strawberries and whipped cream that were, serviceable. And then the mochas were very good. My mom was very happy with them. They were very hot, and she likes that. The server, I already told you this, but the server was this little, what did they call the kid who did, what's the name of that Broadway musical, Oh Mary? The guy who,
Oh yeah,
that he's a demon twink. Our server was a little demon twink, but he looked at me like, is everything okay? And then my mom had said like, oh, this is like, I'm very happy with the lattes you made.
This brutally hot
yeah,
latte.
or the mochas you made. My mom was like, I saw you make them and they're really good. I like when they're very hot. And
I like my papillae sloughed right off.
he was like, oh, I was worried you weren't happy. And then he looks at me, he's like, well, you look so stern.
These children need to learn that I
if you were with my mother, you'd be very serious too, okay?
well, also that I don't have to emotionally tend to
my surroundings.
my surroundings. Like, I'm just here.
I'm an old, tired man.
It doesn't matter.
Like, this is what you're getting.
Yeah, young man, you don't need my approval. Just
yeah, you don't need my approval. Just run me my food, please.
Exactly.
And I'll give you your tip and we can be on our way. And then before Jackie Beat, we ate at the restaurant next door, La Antica Pizzeria de Michel. We had never been there.
No, it's not really in a convenient location.
Not at all. And then you wouldn't even know it's there, but because it's kind of like, it almost looks like it's the parking lot.
Yes.
Like you would think it's like, not even a parking lot. You know what? If you didn't tell me what that was and we drove by, I would think it's like an impound lot or something.
Impound for my money.
But you walk in and it's actually quite beautiful. It's like an oasis in the midst of like this concrete hell. But what did you think of our food?
Oh God, what are we getting in? We got a pizza. Oh, and you got a ragu?
Yeah.
It was tasty.
I thought what I ordered tasted like fancy hamburger helper.
That's ragu has I think the tendency to do that because yeah. And well, in pasta in general, I think I was fine with it. I thought it was overpriced. The pizza was yummy, delicious, tasty, of course, but it's.
I thought it was very soggy. Like I like soft, thin crust, but it was like very.
That's a style of pizza, but you have to like roll up a piece and eat it like a taco. And then there wasn't too much cheese on it. Like that, as my dad said, this is a bald pizza. But it
damn.
Because some of the pieces there were just straight up, it was just sauce.
It was just dough and sauce. Yeah.
Which again, I guess I'm carb craving, but I want some right now in my mind. I'm salivating. But I don't know that I would go there again. But it was
well. Here's the thing, because I agree. I think it was a little spendy for what it was, but if we go to Catalina Jazz Club,
then yes, because Catalina Jazz Club's menus are raggedy
and expensive.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I'd rather spend that money at a nicer restaurant where the food will certainly be nicer than at Catalina Jazz Club. But then we end up ordering stuff there anyway, so we just end up spending double. But
that
whatever,
blah cheesecake. The waiter was very nice. He complimented my Angelica Houston Witches shirt. I felt seen.
And the server looked like Chris Colfer from Glee.
But not as abrasive, no.
All right. Films released we didn't cover. Sherry and Lamb Chop.
There's a new documentary about Sher Lewis. If y'all remember her, Lisa D'Apolito is the director. I have fond memories of Sher Lewis.
Yeah.
Although as a teenager, because my sister's 6 years younger, so there was that period of like, I can't watch these things anymore without going crazy. I'm sitting here reading Stephen King and you're making me watch Barney and Lamb Chops. But because that song, remember the song that opened? This is the song that doesn't.
Yes.
That would get stuck. I mean, it was madness. There was something maddening about Sher Lewis and Lamb Chops and those creatures, but there when I think of her and Lamb Chops, it brings me back to an era of innocence in my own life that was incredibly short-lived.
Cloud.
A new Kiyoshi Kurosawa film. I actually saw this last year. I think it wasn't in competition at Venice. It was maybe in the sidebar. I know it was Japan's entry for Best International Feature, which I thought was kind of curious because Kurosawa had 3 films last year, and this was not my favorite of those, but it's interesting. I would have suggested we should review it, but it was actually not a film I wanted to introduce Kiyoshi Kurosawa to you with, because I don't think you've ever seen one of his films. I'd probably start with Cure or Creepy, but not Cloud. But it's where, if you like him, new film out this weekend.
Projects of interest. There's a Basic Instinct reboot.
Oh my God. Joe Esterhaus, who was the highest paid screenwriter in the 90s for Basic Instinct and Showgirls, has written a new Basic Instinct reboot script. And apparently Amazon MGM has given him $4 million, $2 million to buy it, and $2 million. He'll get $2 million more if it gets made, if I'm recalling the story correctly. But apparently Ms. Sharon Stone is interested.
Wow.
And it's being described, the way people talk now, it's being described as purposefully anti-woke. But it's like, yeah, I think that was what was fun about all those erotic thrillers of the 80s and 90s is it's people are acting raggedy. It's not supposed to be woke. Isn't every erotic thriller anti-woke because people are doing shit they're not supposed to be doing? Anyway, I am kind of excited for that, especially because Basic Instinct 2 is terrible. And actually, the first one's kind of dumb as well. But and now that Michael Douglas is retired, it looks like it depends on Sharon to give us what we need.
Next, A Good Little Soldier.
Stéphane Brisé, who I usually quite like. His films kind of circle around working class social ills, and he often works with Vincent Lindon, who is attached to this new project. I actually don't know what it's about, but Vincent is, I like him, and it also got Alba Rohrwacher, who I also love.
Leaving Copacabana?
Probably the most famous Macedonian director ever, who's still quite prolific. Milcho Manchevsky has a new project. It sounds kind of like Haneke's Code Unknown. For some reason, the plot description made me think of that. But I got to interview Manchevsky in 2020 for a film called Willow, because I believe that was Macedonia's
Willow.
Not Willow, not Ron Howard's Willow with a lovely Val Kilmer. I don't even quite remember that film so much. It was fine. But it was Macedonia's entry for best official or international feature. So, everybody that all those directors do rounds of interviews. Anyway, but he won the Golden Lion back in 1994 in Venice for Before the Rain, which is excellent film. But he's got a new one coming up. He actually had a film after Willow. I just realized I didn't even know it because it didn't come out here. Anyway.
Lastly, The Flowers of Evil.
La Fleur de Mal. This is a bizarre sounding project, but Alexander Aja, who
from the Crocodile movie,
Crawl. You love Crawl.
Yeah.
I love High Tension, even with that ridiculous ending. He hasn't done a film in France since High Tension. His Hills Have Eyes remake. You've seen many of his movies. Mm-hmm. But he's going back to France and making an adaptation of Baudelaire's poetry. I own La Fleur de Mal, so I don't know what the entry point is going to be. Because it's not, it can't really be an adaptation of this, a classical book of poetry that's been taught for ages. But I'm assuming something weird and sexual and decadent for Aja's return in over 20 years to his native country.
All right. This past week on Patreon, we reviewed Drag Me to Hell, which I think is a fun one.
I love Drag Me to Hell, yes.
So people can hear that if they give us money.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, there is an entry in the obituary section.
There was death this week. Death struck.
Connie Francis died. She was a singer,
yes,
actress.
More of a singer, but yeah,
Yeah.
she was in some stuff.
She died at the age of 87.
Yes.
I was reminded of the scene in The Craft at the jukebox
Mm-hmm.
when the one girl asked who that is, and the other lady's like, "That's Connie Francis."
That's right. Yes. Oh, I love The Craft. That raggedy sequel was so terrible. People need to stop.
What are your memories of Connie Francis?
I don't really
'Cause
have. I don't really have any.
Yeah, I don't. I listened to when she died. I went to Apple Music and immediately typed in her name, and then it shows the most popular song of that artist, and then I played it, and I knew "Pretty Little Baby." But yeah, I don't think I really
Yeah, Stupid
am
Cupid.
familiar.
Yeah. I mean, she has popped up in several soundtracks here and there, but yeah.
All right. Before we get to the secret film, I wanted to explain why we chose it. It was to prepare for the spiritual sequel.
The Legacy sequel.
So
Stupid.
So we watched the 1997 original before we saw the 2025 film, but our review for the 2025 film came out before this podcast.
Yes.
And then we recorded this review, not what I'm saying right now, but what's going to come in like 10 seconds. We recorded that several many days ago.
Yes, we did.
So this podcast is all cut up. We've had to start and stop a couple times.
You've got to cut it.
So if it seems like we're a little disjointed, there is a reason. But please enjoy. The secret film this week was my choice, and I chose the 1997 slasher thriller film, I Know What You Did Last Summer, directed by Jim Gillespie.
But probably more importantly, the writer,
Kevin Williamson,
yes,
who wrote Scream.
Mm-hmm.
And it's based on a 1973 novel by Lois Duncan.
Very loosely, apparently, because she openly loathed this movie.
Well, I can see why.
I can too. I openly loathe it as well.
So we are, why did I choose this? Because the new movie's coming out.
The Legacy sequel.
But can I start again?
Sure.
I got derailed. The secret film this week was my choice, and I chose the 1997 slasher thriller film, I Know What You Did Last Summer, directed by Jim Gillespie, written by Kevin Williamson, who's the person who wrote Scream.
Yes, and this film got made because of the success of Scream, because the script had been passed up before that.
And apparently it's based on a 1973 novel by Lois Duncan.
Yeah, who I read as a teenager, and she openly loathed this film.
I can see why.
Same. And I do too. I openly loathe it.
Why did I choose this? Because what is it like? Is it considered a remake or a reboot?
This one, no.
No, the 2025 one.
A legacy sequel.
Oh, a legacy sequel.
Yes, because after this made a ton of money for some goddamn reason, in 1997, they made I Still Know What You Did Last Summer with Brandy. And then there's another, a third film called I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. And then in 2021, there was an 8-episode Amazon Prime series, which I did not watch. And now we have this.
I'm a little discombobulated because we're recording this well before the podcast is published. Yes. We're also recording this before we see the Legacy sequel.
Correct.
But our review for the Legacy sequel is going to come out before this podcast drops. So as I'm talking about the 1997 film, I have not seen the 2025 movie. But I wanted to make sure I saw it before we actually watched the new one, because I don't remember seeing this film
before or at all.
I recognize when Jennifer Love Hewitt screams, "What are you waiting for, huh?"
Running and doing twirling around in the street. That's in the trailer, I believe, as well.
Okay, then maybe I only ever saw the trailer. I don't remember anything else. So I don't think I saw this movie.
Well, I know I probably saw it with my stupid little friends in high school. because I tried to play a similar joke on the volleyball girls that I couldn't stand, and I put a bunch of, because I thought they would be too stupid to get it, but I tried to send a group of like 10 girls in my high school a note that said I know what she did last vernal equinox, because I knew I knew another student that because they had office runners that would deliver messages to people
like
in
inner office mail type shit.
But so I slipped it in this one office runner's stuff, but then he told on me. So the messages never got delivered. But I remember the vice principal, his name was Mr. Harms. He was very stern, and he said, "I know you think this is funny, but we can't distribute these."
Yeah.
So I know I saw it then, and then I rewatched it. I checked in November 2020 while we were in lockdown, and don't have fond memories of it.
The basic premise: 4 young friends bound by a tragic accident are reunited when they find themselves being stalked by a hook-wielding maniac in their small seaside town. What did I think? First of all, what did I like about it? I like the atmosphere.
Sure.
Like they're in this seaside town in North Carolina. I think the movie looks nice. I think the opening is strong.
Roger Ebert said, he gave it 1 out of 4 stars and said, the best shot in this film is the first one. Not a good sign.
So yeah, I think the opening's pretty strong. And I think the basic premise, like what I just read, is appealing.
Sure.
So, and then I know that, well, I don't know this. I'm assuming that, well, when was Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
That was late 90s, yeah.
So everyone in the film is a big star then?
No, not quite. Ryan Phillippe, I think, was on the verge.
Oh, okay.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is on the verge of things. I mean, this is the same year as, I know this wasn't a huge movie, but House of Yes. But, this is before She's All That. And Jennifer Love Hewitt still kind of coming from TV, Party of Five.
Oh.
So I think they were all a little bit on the verge of becoming even larger.
Well, I will say, watching it in 2025, there is some novelty to watching this film and recognizing all of these people. Because in addition to the 4 main characters, you have Anne Heche, you have Johnny Galecki from Roseanne.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it's pretty cool.
Sure.
Seeing them in it.
Well, it's weird because I find it weird because they pair off like Ryan Phillippe and Sarah Michelle Gellar, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. They pair them off. They look like siblings or lovers.
What didn't I like? So if you would have asked me who's Kevin Williamson, I wouldn't know. So I'm not going to pretend that like I think it's derivative of Scream, because I don't remember Scream and I didn't know Kevin Williamson wrote either.
And Dawson's Creek.
But watching it, it does feel like, oh, this feels like a lot of things, but that's okay because the premise is intriguing. I just think that the plot it's not very exciting. Like, it's kind of boring.
It's extremely boring. And then when the motive of the killer and who that is all revealed, it's like, who cares? And this is stupid. And a lot of it doesn't make any goddamn sense. But more importantly, I think it strangely feels like the exact kind of movie that Scream, with its reinvention of serial killer tropes, was making fun of.
Oh, sure. Oh, well, I don't remember Scream, so.
Well, you remember enough. You've seen at least one of the new ones.
Well, I know that. Well, actually, what do I think of it? I don't remember what the first one's about, but I know that because we did watch all of them in a very short period of time.
Uh-huh.
I recall maybe a couple of them, like people trying to recreate the events of the first one, maybe.
Yes.
And then they're like,
and there are all these rules upon sub rules about who does what.
Anyway, I don't give a shit about those films either. But
same.
But this one, it just was kind of like, because the actual story is pretty simple. The opening is an accident. It's 4th of July. These high school students have recently graduated. It's Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and Ryan Phillippe. And they're all like rich, spoiled kids, I guess, except for Freddie Prinze Jr. But they're still all friends.
Uh-huh.
And Ryan Phillippe is the one driving in his 3 Series BMW, and he's drinking brown liquor out the bottle. So of course, Freddie Prinze Jr. says, well, you can't drive, I'll drive. So they're driving up this mountain road by the overlooking the ocean. And Ryan's ass is drunk and crazy, like pops through the sunroof screaming, and then spills his liquor on Freddie Prinze Jr. as he's driving. So he's distracted when they strike something in the road. And it becomes clear that it was a human being they hit. And then they find the person, and now they're all freaked out because it would seem like they all think they have a bright futures ahead of them. So instead of contacting the authorities, they decide to dump the body into the ocean, and then they make a vow never to speak of it again. So then we flash forward 1 year later, and Jennifer Love Hewitt gets a little letter saying, I know what you did last summer. She's freaked out, and she's off at college, so she comes back to North Carolina to try to like get info. It's also important to know that none of them have had contact since the incident, so they're not even cool anymore.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a ruinous experience to have. Yeah.
And Jennifer Love Hewitt is like failing in college because, I mean, clearly she's traumatized.
Well, she's also failing with those bangs, but...
Well, she comes back and then the murders begin, but really it's kind of like right away, the guy from Roseanne gets killed.
Johnny Galecki.
And we need to get back to that because I don't know why.
I don't know why he would need to be.
Why was he a victim? But
exactly.
Anyway. And then they get... Like Ryan Phillippe's character gets assaulted. I think Sarah Michelle Gellar's character gets someone cuts her hair. Or, like they're being stalked. And then Jennifer Love Hewitt, there's like, she goes to, they start doing research and think they know who they hit that night. They think they hit this boy named Dave, I think. David.
No, Dave Egan. So a body is found, and only Jennifer Love Hewitt followed up to know anything about it. So she thinks they hit a boy named Dave Egan.
That's what I mean. She thinks that she thinks she knows who they hit.
So they go to see his sister.
And that's Anne Heche, and they have her like. I haven't seen Deliverance, but
she's in Deliverance mode.
But it seems like that's what Deliverance would be like.
Well, once Sarah Michelle Gellar goes, she lives out in the sticks.
Yeah. And then the sister is like, my brother wasn't hit by a car. He killed himself. So then we realize like, okay, something's off. So who is the killer then? But as the audience, it's weird because we see the body. We see the body when they dump it in the ocean and the body's like the person is still alive, like opens his eyes. As the audience in the opening, I thought it was very obvious that man was like my age. He's not a young man.
He's not a young man.
He's a middle-aged man.
As they claw the tiara out of his grip.
They also see a tattoo on his arm, and that tattoo looked old.
Susie.
So it's like...
Susie Toot.
Okay. I don't think this was a fellow high school student, but okay.
No, but these dumb teens, it's very Scooby-Doo.
Well, it is, but it's also like as the audience, it's very obvious that they did not kill this handsome young man.
Right.
Because we saw his face.
That they look up in Sarah Michelle Gellar, whose name is Helen Shivers. We need to get back to that surname. Her older sister, who's just a bitch, played by Bridget Wilson. She's a year older, and they find Danny Egan's picture in her sister's yearbook. This is their research.
Well, yeah, I just think it becomes so predictable, like, because you know that it's not that kid. And then I do think it is kind of I thought it was going to be Freddie Prinze Jr. Like that he hated these people.
But he's so dumb.
He's not very good, like the performance. These characters all feel super thin, but I think of the four, Freddie Prinze Jr. gives the worst. He seems like a dumb dog.
Well, like can't mouth breather.
Yeah,
just looks stunned every time he has to do something. Just like,
but to
what?
be fair, I wasn't predictable as in like, oh, it's not this kid. So when are we going to get to it? But I did think that the killer was going to be Freddie Prinze Jr.
Well, there's the scene where they're at Dawson's Beach early on, right before the death. And Jennifer Love Hewitt, Kevin Williamson's screenplay, this writing, these children were not speaking this way. One, Jennifer Love Hewitt uses the word that comes to mind as esoteric. Two,
no, she says esoterically.
She says esoterically to Freddie Prinze Jr. One, she wouldn't use that word. Two, he definitely doesn't know what it means.
So then... two of the four get killed.
Uh-huh.
And then it all ends with a showdown between the two surviving people. Well, no, it's a showdown between the
the killer.
The killer and the two surviving. And the killer is this guy named Ben Willis. He is, so what's that kid's name? Dave Egan or
Yes.
Dave Egan was this like high school guy who graduated like a year before or 2 years before the group of the four. Anyway, he was in love with this girl named Susie. And Susie was killed
On that same stretch of road. And apparently he was blamed for her death.
He was blamed for her death. So David went to that road to kill himself. Or he killed himself. But Susie's dad was out there. Well, no, he wasn't there the same night.
No, they found that Egan's body was found 4 months later.
Yeah, I'm messing it up. Sorry. Susie killed herself. The dad had blamed David Egan, so David Egan had killed himself. But on the night of the accident, the dad was just up there.
Yeah, I think it was a year's anniversary since Susie's
he's
death.
just up there for the anniversary of his daughter's death. And that's who they hit. But they didn't kill his ass. They threw him in the water, and we see that he's still alive. So you know he's going to persist. So that's the part that's predictable. It's like, I think that if it's not Freddie Prinze Jr., then it's that man who they dumped in the water. So he's the killer.
Yes, played by Muse Watson. Now, once it's revealed, looking back at the things that have happened, this man apparently broke into Sarah Michelle Gellar's house while her drunk daddy was watching sports and her sister's at home and chopped up her hair.
That scene was ridiculous.
While she was asleep.
Yeah. And then when we see her hair after, it's like, I don't think her hair, she had a long bob, and it's like, I don't think it'd be that clean.
Well,
okay.
That's the other thing that doesn't matter, because there's contention with her sister who runs their store, the family store. And the sister's like, I expect you to be at the store at 10 o'clock. We have inventory. And it happens to be the day of the parade and the celebration because the film opens with Sarah Michelle Gellar getting crowned with some tiara. Well, I don't remember what the event, like,
the Butter Queen
the
pageant?
Butter Queen, crocheting queen,
some dumb shit.
crotchet face crochet queen of the summer. Anyway, she has to hand off the tiara, so she has to be there. She can't do inventory, not possibly. And where was I going with that complaint? But that man sneaks in the house in his big rubber boots and his fisherman,
to just cut her hair
up and put the tiara on her head. And then she gets up, discovers what has happened, is upset, rallies the troops. She has to be at the parade at 10 and still goes and gets another haircut.
You know what would have been more interesting is first of all, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like the motive for the killer feels a little weak, like, y'all left me for dead, so now I'm going to come kill you, but I'm going to wait a year.
Why would you wait a year?
And I'm going to kind of toy with you. If anything, I feel like first of all, I wish it would have been some other reason why he's mad. Like, these kids are the reason. I mean, then it feels like Carrie 2 or something.
But how did he identify each of them? How did he know they were all in the car?
Well, he was alive when they were trying to dump his ass in the...
But
well, I'm just saying.
He was at least passed out when they dragged his body down there. So ostensibly, he only saw the one, Philippi, who grabbed the tear out of his hands underwater.
I almost wish it would have been like they hit his daughter and then sort of set it up to blame... Like it was like the daughter's fault that she died that night, but he knows the truth because he saw it, but he couldn't prove it. And so now he wants revenge. But I guess that wouldn't work because then that's predictable. I don't know. I just thought for him to wait a year with these boring ass kids.
Well, you would not have a title if we couldn't reference something.
Right. And then he's like toying with them kind of. Then there are a couple of moments that are just unbelievable, which we'll get to. Mm-hmm. But then I was trying to look up just trying to have some sort of analysis in this movie, like some themes. And so some themes are guilt and consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly Jennifer Love Hewitt's probably the most racked with guilt because she hasn't been able to focus on her studies. Freddie Prinze Jr., we find out the reason he's a red herring, in addition to being the outsider of the group, we find out in like the 2/3 point that he had gone to Anne Heche to try to find out more about David Egan, her brother, mm-hmm. because he felt so guilty. And then Ryan Phillippe's meant to be like the super douchebag.
He gave a pseudonym, Freddie Prinze Jr., to Anne Heche that was Billy Blue.
which is the name of the boat he fishes on. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, she is like, the butter queen, and her dream was to go to New York and become an actress. But then when Jennifer Love Hewitt returns a year later, we see that Sarah's working at her sister's shop selling jewelry. So clearly, and then when Jennifer asks her like what happened, she kind of plays it off like, oh, it didn't work out. So we can assume that maybe she sort of had a similar trajectory to Jennifer Love Hewitt, which was she couldn't focus because she felt guilty. Although she doesn't act guilty.
Not at all.
So then I don't know if that's true. So that feels kind of weak. Like only 2 of the 4 seem to feel bad, but then that would align with the 2 who get killed are the ones who don't seem to feel bad.
Exactly, sure.
And then consequences, I mean, I guess, like very obviously, like, yeah, I mean, I guess when you do bad things, there are side effects sometimes because...
Teach the children a lesson.
Only 2 of the 4 got dealt with, so...
Okay, so I think another theme are midriffs.
Okay, can we talk about first Jennifer Love Hewitt? Because when we first meet her, she's dressed like a sister wife.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, she's in like sexy late
Breasts.
90s with her breasts, like cleavage out and her midriff showing. I don't understand the shift in her character's wardrobe.
This was a reference to John Wyndham, who wrote for the basis of the Village of the Damned films, The Midwich Cuckoos. The midriff cuckoos is what I thought this should be called.
Well, actually, the next theme might relate to what you just said, because loss of innocence. And it's like, well, these 4 didn't seem that innocent before.
Not at all.
They seem real raggedy. And then the fact that, like, I mean, I guess Freddie Prinze Jr. kind of ended up doing what he would have done anyway, which is work on a boat as a fisherman. And Jennifer Love Hewitt not doing well in school. Ryan Phillippe's family clearly has money. He lives in a mansion.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Well, except now he's dead. But this idea that these characters were forced to confront like mortality, their egos, blah, blah, blah. I just don't see it. I think that these characters are so thinly written.
It's flimsy as hell. And there's this constant reference to this urban legend about a man with a hook for a hand.
Oh, that's the next one is like, I don't know.
And they keep correcting one another.
Even as that kind of movie, because you think about something like
Urban Legends.
Well, that, which is less serious versus something like Candyman. I feel like the first Candyman is like a really good way to do urban legend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think this just feels so weak.
Because it is.
Okay, some fun facts about the movie. Like I already mentioned, the person who wrote Scream wrote this movie, and it does feel like it's from the same pen. Once I knew,
and we did a live review for The Faculty, which was a year after this,
with
Josh Hartnett
and that horrible hairdo,
Piper Laurie. Yeah, I think that Faculty is a lot of fun.
So you already mentioned this, but Lois Duncan hated it. The original novel was a psychological thriller. Duncan, whose daughter was murdered in real life, was vocally critical of the violent slasher film version.
I didn't know that. I looked that up. Her daughter was found at the age of 18, shot in the head in a car.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Casting nearly included Melissa Joan Hart. She turned down the role of Julie James. Julie James is
Jennifer
Love Hewitt's character.
Well, who cares about her anyway?
I was shocked to read this. Sarah Michelle Gellar's iconic scene, her chase through the alley in store, is considered one of the standout horror sequences of the 90s. First of all, I hated that scene because Sarah Michelle Gellar's being chased by the killer, who's dressed like a fisherman with a hook, and she runs to the store she works in, and she's banging like hysterical. And her raggedy ass sister is just staring at her like, what?
Who's equally beautiful. Like, I don't understand the rivalry.
Right.
Anyway, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it just feels flimsy. So then the sister is like showing zero urgency. At the bare minimum, if I can't stand you, bitch, I'm not going to have you break my window. Let me go open the door. The sister couldn't have been more slow to react. Slowly saunters to the door after having to go grab the key, unlocks the door. Her sister comes in hysterical And she's still acting like, what's going on? And she's like, you got to unlock the other door. Like, someone's chasing me. Oh, I hated it. Then the sister gets killed by the killer. And Sarah Michelle Gellar runs in an alley, and there's like a parade, a 4th of July, there's a parade happening. So there's all this commotion, and Sarah Michelle Gellar's running through the alley.
How many parades like that happen at night?
Where there are all these tires. And maybe I'm stupid, but I don't see how the killer got in front of her.
It logistically, it makes no sense, and it's stupid. And it treats the audience like they're stupid.
That really bothered me.
Yeah, because it's you know what else bothered me? On Sarah Michelle Gellar's run to the store, her last name is Shivers, plural, like as in more than one shiver. And the name of the store is Shiver 'S.
Yeah, it should be Shivers apostrophe.
The way the store is named, she should be Helen Shiver, not Shivers.
Yeah, that annoyed me too. Okay, so I actually thought that sequence was
mid at best.
Okay, and then the film shot in North Carolina, so I did think that the like coastal town was beautiful. So there's that. Okay,
good for those people.
So I thought that tire alley scene was ridiculous.
I think Anne Heche is creepy and fun.
I think she's more campy fun.
Oh, it's campy, but
I wouldn't call her creepy.
But that scene where, because the girls, the two young women pretend to need her phone because their car, they need AAA, and then they think they get the information they need and skedaddle, and then remain parked at the head of her driveway. And she comes and bangs on their car window like the jig is up.
But it's only because one of them forgot their phone.
Cigarettes.
Oh, I'm sorry, cigarettes.
Yeah, they didn't have cell phones, these girls.
Yeah, cigarettes. Sarah Michelle Gellar smokes like a train.
Yes, she does.
Which I find funny.
Oh, but so the day after her hair is butchered, she's also in a midriff, breasts out in a way that
like for real, girl,
looking pouty, like they
with a hat on because her hair's supposed to be jacked up.
Is that comfortable? Is that
okay? I'm just gonna go through. Oh, I mentioned that I didn't like that. The only kill that I thought was decent was the first one from the kid from Roseanne,
Galecki, because
he's in like a kitchen and the slasher kills him. But then, okay, so why did the killer want to kill him? He didn't do anything.
And he was lying unconscious. By the time Galecki comes up on that murder scene or that accident scene, he is already over the barrier. They'd already tossed that man over. Remember, because Ron Phillippe's pretending to retch.
Right.
There's no way. So Max is not on his hit list. Why does he?
Also, if anything, Roseanne kid was trying to help because he pulled over to go, what's going on?
What's going on? And so, and then he uses his corpse in.
Okay, that's the other unbelievable scene is that the killer puts the corpse in Jennifer Love Hewitt's Dodge in the trunk.
With covered in what, Dungeness crabs,
like a lot of them.
If you have ever been in a fish market or ever
smelled
a multitude of crustaceans, stinky, smelly, no, this hot car in North Carolina in the summer with a body that's been dead for days,
and the killer. So Jennifer Love Hewitt sees it, freaks out, goes to get her people to show them, and then when she gets back to the car, it's fully clean.
No,
that makes no
not
sense.
Wet. No smells.
I hated that. I also hated the scene at the end when Ryan Phillippe gets killed because it's during the Butter Queen ceremony and Sarah Michelle Gellar has to give over her crown.
The May Queen.
And the new bitch has to sing her little talent show song, and it's Fame.
Yeah, and it's terrible. Yeah.
And while that's happening, Sarah Michelle Gellar sees Ryan Phillippe being killed in the mezzanine.
Mm-hmm.
So she freaks out, and I hated that scene because this woman, the former queen who's on stage, goes ballistic and no one takes her seriously. They're all trying to hold her back like she's going to do something.
They swarm her and men grab her. And
I couldn't believe that. Like she's trying to warn everyone. No one even looks in the direction that she's like screaming at.
There's a cop presumably on hand in the audience because he's Johnny on the spot. And he's so annoyed. He goes up to the attic or whatever that's happened, Barely looks
Ryan
around.
Phillippe was gutted.
Barely looks around.
Barely looks around. There is no blood anywhere, and all we see is one drop hanging from like a rail.
Doesn't make any sense. But the cop acts so inconvenienced, like he had been dispatched there from his dinner. Like, you were already there, sir. What's the problem?
It made me laugh too, because depending on the crowd, because I think with certain crowds, if one person runs, everyone runs.
Uh-huh.
And in this crowd, it's like, y'all just stood there. I would have been, when I tell you, I would have already known where the exit was. And as soon as that lady got up screaming, I would have ran for that exit.
Well, this is kind of like a survival mechanism. So I guess that says a lot about this audience.
But I hated that the cop goes up there and there's no evidence of a healthy young man being gutted.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah, where's the corpse?
Or if there's no corpse, there should be blood and guts everywhere.
Where's the scuffle? It looked like there's only one stairway up. I
hated that. Okay, I only have a few notes. The accident. Ryan's character is an asshole. Because he blames Freddie Prinze Jr. for the accident. It's like, fool, you were standing through your sunroof.
And you dropped liquor on us all over the car.
And you dropped a bottle of brown liquor on me while I was driving. And you're mad that I got distracted and hit someone who shouldn't even be in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
But I was howling because they're trying to act like maybe we hit a deer. And then I forget who it was.
Jennifer Love
Hewitt found a boot. And there's nothing funnier to me than when people fall or get hit and their shoe comes off.
But did you like how she holds up that boot and you can also see there's like blood on it? Like, what?
Okay, so when they're on the pier or the dock and they're going to dump this presumably dead body that's not really dead, the body wakes up and snatches the crown off Sarah Michelle Gellar, and then they throw him in the water. And guess who jumps in? Ryan Phillippe.
His drunk ass.
To grab the crown. You know what I wouldn't do? That.
Exactly.
And then that's when he realizes, oh, this person's not dead.
This $5 tiara, but then we come to find she's expected to give that tiara back.
Listen, that took me out too. I can't believe that they made her give that Party City tiara to the new queen.
These people are. Does
that lady like?
You know what depressed me? That moment in the movie, it was like, oh.
You already mentioned it, but Anne Heche damn near broke that car window trying to get back those cigarettes.
I guess you got this car started, girls.
Roseanne boy in the trunk with the crabs. I can't get over how nonsensical that is to me.
The stink no. And she drove for a minute.
And it looks dry. I just don't know how that would look that way.
No. You mean after the body and the crabs were removed?
Yes.
No. Ain't no way. No.
Okay, it's a memorable scene, but Jennifer Love Hewitt screaming, "What are you waiting for?" I would like that on a loop.
I guess I don't mind her, but the bangs were driving me crazy.
She's a cute lady. I've done her hair before. She's a cute lady. Those bangs are, they're late 90s bangs.
Both her and Ryan would go on to work with Sigourney Weaver, so, they have that glow to them.
Okay. Sarah Michelle Gellar riding on this float at the Butter Queen parade or whatever. She was acting like
there was a sniper.
She was acting like Rachel Marin at the Academy Awards, Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard, where she's just paranoid.
I'm like, girl, I'm pretty sure this is the safest you have been the whole time.
I thought that was laughable.
I don't know who this person is. Some critic named Richard Harrington. I love going back to read about this is a stupid movie, and the people that praised it, I don't know if they were trying to seem hip or cool, but somebody named Richard Harrington wrote, "It's superior to Scream, and it's a smart and sharply drawn genre film with a moral center." Sir, you need to put the pen down. I don't want to hear any more from you.
What's the moral center?
Because these kids were all the subtext is like they've allowed themselves to become they're guilt racked. So their lives have stopped, like a karma bullet stopped them in their tracks.
Sure. But I feel like they're not even to me, they're not even trying to like remedy the situation. They're just trying to figure out who's trying to kill them.
Exactly. They really, Sarah Michelle Gellar's just like, I don't want to talk about it.
Right. Okay. So the final showdown between, because at first Jennifer Love Hewitt, because she sees Freddie Prinze Jr. on, because they've lost touch, so she doesn't realize that his boat is called the Betty Blue, and like you already mentioned, they learn that Freddie Prinze Jr. was the one who, or in that moment, Jennifer Love Hewitt realizes, oh, the person who went to go talk to Anne Heche was Freddie Prinze Jr. So then she goes, "You're the killer." So they start running, like a chase ensues, and then the actual killer snatches up Freddie Prinze Jr. And that's when she realizes, oh, he's not the killer. And then they both get stuck on the killer's boat. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar gets thrown into like the ice basement where they keep the fish they catch, and that's where the two bodies are that the killer's already
storing, but apparently trots out every now and then. I don't know.
Yeah, but I thought that ice looked so fake.
You said, what did you say? It looked like in a James Bond movie, like
the diamonds. It looks so utterly fake to me.
Diamonds are forever.
The film ends. We flash forward a year, and
but first of all, the killer has some dialogue with Jennifer Love Hewitt that is also.
Oh, what does he say?
Don't you remember he said, next time when you kill somebody, make sure they're dead?
Oh, that is a good line.
It is, but you're just going to kill this woman anyway. Like, what?
So we flash forward a year, and Jennifer Love Hewitt is back at school. So I guess she didn't flunk out, and so things are better. And this heifer is on her cellular phone in the locker room shower.
And it's steamy as hell in there.
We're talking about 1997.
That's a waste of water that's going on.
Well, that's also a waste of your little minutes. Like phones weren't free back then.
Right. And it's nighttime.
I know her family has money, but it's like, her family does. We meet her mother.
Yes.
And their home isn't as lavish as Ryan Phillippe's. But I just thought the optics of her on her cellular, that big ass phone in the locker room shower with the towel wrapped
and the way she's talking, I think she's supposed to be talking to Freddie Prinze Jr. because she's like, "You can ravage me."
Okay, I love you.
There's something so creepy about childlike women being sexual that Jennifer Lopez does that a lot. I cannot stand it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
So she gets out of the shower and goes to her locker to change and sees that there's a letter that looks just like the letter she got the
same penmanship
the summer before
with the black marker,
same color envelope, same writing. So she's like,
Julie James.
Yeah. And then she opens it and it's actually an invitation to a pool party. Why
would they drop that off on some random bench outside of her showering? They would put it in her dorm room, or they have mailboxes on campuses.
But then she was wasting water by turning the water on, but then talking on the phone, and then she went to go put her phone back and saw the letter and then realized like, oh, it's not what I think it is. So she goes back to actually take her shower and sees that the steam, someone has written a message in the glass that says, "I still know." And then it busts through and grabs her.
I still know ... Y'all stupid.
I thought that ending was tired.
It's
because this is not a Friday the 13th movie. This is not a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like,
nope. And then a year later, we haven't. I still know what you did.
But none of these people are in it.
Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are in it. They're on the.
They're in the sequel.
Yeah, because they lived. They're on the poster.
What?
With Brandy?
Wait a minute. Hold on. It's called I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Mekhi Phifer?
Yeah, I believe he's in it. I watched that for the very first time last fall. I watched it in anticipation of seeing Brandy in the front room. Because remember, part of the marketing was like, Brandy's return to genre films.
Oh, so I didn't watch that with you.
No, because I interviewed the directors of that. And it was the night before I did that.
Wow. Well, the first movie is, it holds... like, I think it's like, it's rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, like a 45 though. But then the sequel is very rotten. It has like an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The sequel somehow is worse, but yeah.
Is that right? The score is that low?
It's stupid.
Yes, it is. Whoa.
I haven't seen I'll Always Know, but now since we're on that train, I might make a point of watching that this week, just so I can, for my own personal edification.
Well, oh yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer has a 40. Oh no, that's the TV. Oh, so the TV series wasn't
well, there's only one season.
Well reviewed either. Do I think the new one's going to be good?
No.
No.
This shit is stale. It was stale then, what they did with it. Again, there's a nostalgia factor going back, seeing these people, most of whom I like.
Ooh. So wait, you mentioned this. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah.
That has a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, that's a before bedtime movie then, I guess.
I guess we have to watch. We should watch that before we watch the one with Brandy. Because you've already seen.
I have.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like Brandy, it's fine. Because, this is not... Brandy lives through the end.
Oh. Well, we're talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer, the 1997 film. What would you give it?
A 1.
I would give it 1.5 out of 5. I didn't enjoy it, but it's not like, I think it's well shot.
Oh, we did. Denis Crossan was the cinematographer. Since you're praising that, we should.
The premise
give him props.
is not bad. The opening sequence with the kids, I mean, it did have my attention. If I saw this in a theater, like had I seen it in a theater yesterday, not because I didn't know the story, I would have thought we were off to a good start.
Yeah, but once we get past the credits, though, and I will say the soundtrack doesn't perilously date it.
No.
As well. Like, I think they made some interesting, because I remember, like, corn is in there. There's some interesting curation.
Corn?
Right, yeah. Corn.
You ate a can of corn 2 weeks ago?
I was hungry and there was nothing in the house.
You ate an entire can. I walked in the kitchen. I walked downstairs into the kitchen. Or was I? No. I wasn't home.
Uh-huh.
You do a lot of things when I'm not at home.
Oh, boy.
So I come home and I walk into you eating a can of corn, but you had just took the spoon to the can. He didn't even pour it. Did you strain it?
Of course.
So you strained it and put it back in the can?
You don't strain it. You just you drain the water out with the stuff still in there. And she ever made tuna? You just, with the can opener, there's an aperture and then it drains.
And you were just
Well, I was considering like doing elote in the can, but then I was like, that's
good?
Too much. It's fine. It was fine.
So did it ever come out?
Of course it did. My digestive tract is working.
No, but because I was expecting it to come out looking like Baby Ruth.
Like popcorn?
Yeah. But then you were like, I didn't notice the corn.
I didn't. That maybe was alarming, but it came out sometime. That was weeks ago.
But I mean, if I eat like a Southwest chicken salad that has like 20 corn kernels in it, I usually notice. But you ate an entire can of corn.
You see,
you didn't notice.
My theory on that is the stuff that's in cans like that, it's not good for you. There are no nutrients and it's already processed the hell out of the food.
So you think your body digested it?
Well, better than you would if you had fresh corn off the cob.
I mean, I don't know that that's not true, but
you know what else is a good indicator of how fast things are moving? Are mushrooms.
Red velvet cake.
Mushrooms. Red velvet cake.
Why mushrooms?
Well, your body doesn't process them the same way, so depending on how well you chew, they might come out in the exact same shape that you ate.
Wow. I know that red velvet cake will scare you every time.
Well, I hadn't eaten anything all day, and I'd only had red velvet cake, and then there wasn't some alarm.
I remember when I was younger, I was probably like 19, and I remember being in a public bathroom at a urinal, and I was peeing, and it looked red, and I freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I immediately made an appointment. Back then, because this was 97, I called like to make an appointment to see the doctor, and I was scared to use the bathroom, so I didn't use the bathroom like the rest of the day. But then I went back, like I was back out again, where I was like in public and used the public bathroom again, and then it was red again, and I'm like, what? And then I realized I was wearing a red shirt.
And the reflection.
And it was the reflection of my shirt that I was seeing.
But when you notice things like that, it can be alarming, yeah.
So I had to call and cancel that appointment. I felt so stupid. Anyway.
What a relief, though.
Yes.
Because that red velvet moment, I was like, I have internal bleeding. And then I'm like, oh, wait.
No, I just ate 7 tablespoons of red food coloring.
Only that.
All right. What do we have coming this week? I know there's a review for a film called Osiris, a sci-fi film starring Lyndall Jenner, Linda Hamilton with a Russian accent in this alien movie.
We'll be seeing Fantastic Four
and Together,
which that doesn't come out till July 30th. But yeah, we see that finally this week. The Pete Davidson film directed by James DeMonaco of The Purge fame called The Home.
Oh,
that's this week. I think it's funny because we kind of bypassed Oh Hi, but you saw a trailer for it and you're like, oh, that looks fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're probably going to get to that. Oh, and then Happy Gilmore 2.
Ugh. I mean, that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So that can be I can't imagine wanting to see it.
No,
I don't think I saw Happy Gilmore.
I did when I was a child, but again, my energy for that is very low. I'm not giving it like that literally. I'm not asking for a screener from Netflix. Like, you can just plop that on Friday and see what we think. I don't know.
And then, did you finish your book?
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So I finally finished The Thornbirds, which
was it worth the wait?
I'm glad I read it. I've been wanting to for years and years and years. But I will say that epic saga really falls off for me in the last 300 pages.
Oh, I can't even think about reading a 300-page book, and you said the last 300.
It's like 700 pages. Because it sprawls decades, and then we start focusing. The main character is Maggie and her love for her father Ralph, the priest. And of course, they're not supposed to love each other. But she has these two babies, these two children. And when those children become adults, I hated the writing of those children. They are so annoying. So I'm actually curious because it's pulpy, romantic, historical fiction, basically, but with some really meaty roles for several women. And the cast of the miniseries is insane. So I cannot wait to revisit that because that took the world by storm. And so many women lusted after gay Richard Chamberlain after that series. So anyway, it was necessary research in my mind to revisit the miniseries. And I plan on doing the same thing with Roots.
Okay.
Because I have a copy of that in my pile of things to read, and probably after Venice, because I have to do whatever ends up playing in Venice, there's a few books I need to read before that festival. And so then, and this was kind of related to something I'm working on, an article about Party Girl. I read Eve Babbitt's Slow Dazed Fast Company, The World, the Flesh, and L.A. I've never spoken to you about Eve Babbitt's, have I?
I don't know.
I finished it yesterday, and I immediately texted my sister. I'm like, you need to read Eve Babbitt's because I think you will find a kindred spirit, because I know I did. Wow, what a writer! But she's basically documenting her own experiences, at least in this publication. Because before that, she had Eve's Hollywood. She was kind of, I think you could compare her to a Joan Didion, who I also love. But she was this kind of hedonistic, you could say, party girl, and hobnobbing with all of these very famous people who she gives pseudonyms in her essays, let's call them, on the Sunset Strip in the 70s. And it's I love her sense of humor, her descriptions. Several times I stopped reading some of the essays. I'm like, okay, who is Francis, blah blah blah, in this? Who is she talking about? There's one of the women she's talking about ends up being supposedly Ronnie Blakely, who I didn't know was a heroin addict. My God. You know Ronnie Blakely. She's the mom. There's that famous scene in A Nightmare on Elm Street where she gets sucked in the door. But yeah, I think you would dig Eve Babbitt's as well. I think you would like her sense of humor. She's extremely intelligent and witty. It's a fast read. I would push that on you as well, but I was kind of, I feel like it's the best thing. It's the most exciting thing I read. It's one of those things you read and like, oh God, I feel alive and I want to live. My favorite cereal is Life and I live it. It's a got to be real reference. And now I'm reading, because I've meant to for years and years and years, Laughter in the Dark by Nabokov.
All done?
Yes.
All right. Ta-ta.